Do the numbers just speak for themselves, or is there some kind of other motive for the filing at this time, Joey?
No correlation at all, Mike. You kidding? I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a mother. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry.
This is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country.
Over $1.2 billion is now reportedly facing financial ruin, according to shocking new CNN reports. Despite flaunting luxury jets, mansions, and million-dollar watches, insiders claim Mayweather's reckless spending, failed business ventures, and mounting legal fees have taken a massive toll. Sources say the boxing legend is quietly liquidating assets to cover debts, while others allege a looming bankruptcy filing. Mayweather's reckless spending, failed business ventures, and mounting legal insiders claim over
Everything ends up this way. Well, everything does end up this way because people are surrounded by other people who make 10%, 20%, 5% on what the other guy brings home. So people are incentivized to push people to keep scaling and keep going and all eat when you eat. But I think it's very important for people to stand up and say, you know what? I don't think this thing needs to be that big. I don't think the valuation needs to get here.
Floyd Mayweather once sat at the pinnacle of wealth in sports, reportedly amassing over $1.2 billion through prize fights, endorsements, and appearances. But as quickly as the money rolled in, it was squandered. Instead of investing wisely or maintaining financial stability, Mayweather lived as if the stream of wealth would never end. Lavish purchases, from gold-plated jets to entire fleets of supercars, defined his daily life. His desire to be seen as the richest. Floyd Mayweather once sat at the pinnacle of wealth.
He's up there, bro. He's probably got to be at least 400 million. I mean, some of the purses from his fights are like 100 million each fight.
I would think close to $1 billion.
He probably is, but he spends like a. He probably has like a couple $100 million in jewelry. Have you seen like videos of his jewelry?
Yeah, some crazy. Let me see. Let me see what his net worth is. Mayweather net worth.
Them Googles be lying though. Huh?
They be lying. You think?
I think so. It's probably not accurate. I mean,
let's see what they say. Exactly what you said. It says an estimated $450 million.
Yeah.
Richest boxer in the world. It's a lot of money.
Mayweather made headlines not just for his undefeated record, but for the jaw-dropping paydays attached to his fights. His bout earned him over $250 million, and his exhibition with Conor McGregor. He was constantly billed as the highest-paid athlete alive. But rather than treating this income as a foundation for long-term wealth, Mayweather used it as a fuel for extravagance. Massive parties. He was constantly billed as the highest-paid athlete alive. He was constantly billed as the highest-paid athlete.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Floyd's financial troubles haven't been limited to careless spending. His name has frequently surfaced in legal controversies tied to questionable business ventures. In 2022, he was caught up in a class action lawsuit related to a cryptocurrency scheme many called a pump and dump. Although the case was dismissed, it highlighted Floyd's willingness to jump into hype-driven ventures without proper oversight. Things escalated in 2024 when Floyd's financial troubles haven't been limited to careless spending. His name has frequently surfaced in legal controversies tied to questionable business ventures. In 2022.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. We wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of You know, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, you know, in my children's life.
Joe Rogan, never one to hold back, publicly criticized Mayweather's apparent disregard for tax obligations. Rogan warned that no matter how rich a person is, failing to pay taxes invites serious trouble with the IRS. And he's right. Many wealthy individuals have fallen due to such neglect. Rogan pointed out that Floyd's extravagant lifestyle might be hiding deep financial instability. The blueprint Floyd's fallen due to such neglect. Rogan pointed out that Floyd's extravagant lifestyle might be hiding deep financial instability. The blueprint Floyd...
You can sell those.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million.
Earned hundreds of millions during his boxing prime, only to declare bankruptcy after years of reckless spending. Tyson owned tigers, mansions, and a gold bathtub. And now Floyd seems to be following the same destructive playbook. Just like Tyson, Mayweather flaunts his cars, jewelry. Mayweather flaunts his cars, jewelry,
loves showing off his cars,
Mayweather flaunts his cars, jewelry, and houses. Earned hundreds of millions during his boxing prime, only to declare bankruptcy.
It's your main man, Made Man, back at it again, and y'all know how I get down over here. We talking boxing. Now, I am fresh off watching episode 1 of the All Access of the upcoming fight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Marcos Maidana. Now, a lot of people may have gotten a lot of things from watching that episode. You know, it was real flamboyant. We seen Floyd Mayweather tossing his money around as always, talking about the Miss Jackson situation. We seen Marcos Maidana looking focused, more so focused on his baby and everything. So those are a lot of the minor takeaways. But my major takeaway from this whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I was quickly hit with a emotion of nostalgia. You know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me, there was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And and I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains,
Ironically, Floyd has often spoken about financial strategy, even referencing a buy low, sell high approach to his real estate investments. But his actions contradict his words. No one questions Mayweather's brilliance inside the ring. His defensive mastery, timing, and fight IQ cemented his legacy as one of the greatest boxers in history. He retired undefeated, something few athletes can claim. But ironically, Floyd has often spoken about financial strategy, even referencing a buy low, sell high approach. Ironically.
people hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example. I'm going to just take boxing, for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
Yes.
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. He became the villain.
Even Floyd's own uncle has questioned
Jeff
his
Mayweather,
financial decisions.
has spoken
In a
out about
candid
his nephew's
interview,
money choices.
Jeff admitted he no longer
In a blunt
understands
interview,
Floyd's erratic
Jeff said he
behavior,
no longer
especially his
understands Floyd's
chaotic
strange
investment
behavior,
patterns. Floyd
especially
appears
when
to
it comes
leap
to
into
how he
business
invests.
deals. Floyd appears to leap
Floyd
into
seems to
business
jump
deals without a clear
into
strategy,
business deals
driven more by ego
without a
than
clear
logic.
plan,
His massive
acting
real
more
estate
from
than
ego
logic.
than
His
from
massive
logic.
real estate claims
His big
raise
claims
eyebrows
about real
among
estate raise
professionals
doubts
who
among
understand how
experts
rich.
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, I mean, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much, so we don't really get a chance to talk very much, and so I don't really know what's going on with him. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things, and so I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So I mean, I haven't seen him. Haven't seen him in quite some time, and I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything.
I know that KSI's team would be happy to make their fight with him.
Floyd's conflict with the
Floyd's troubles
IRS
with
is a
the
major
IRS
red
are a
flag.
serious
In the
warning
past,
sign.
federal authorities reportedly
Reports
warned him
say
to sell his
federal
properties and
agents
settle
once
his
told him
tax
to sell some of
obligations.
his properties
Ignoring
and
such
pay
a
off his
demand is
taxes.
financial suicide.
Ignoring that
When the
kind of
IRS
advice is a
begins
big
seizing
mistake.
assets, it
When the
signals a
IRS
deep level
starts
of
taking your stuff,
mismanagement. Floyd's
usually
refusal to
means things have gotten
proactively handle
really
his
bad.
tax debt only made
Floyd's
the situation
choice to delay
worse, full of
paying off his
mismanagement.
taxes
Floyd's
only made
refusal
things
to
worse
proactively
and added
handle
to
his tax
problems.
debt only.
You guys all seen the headline saying Mayweather needs money, Mayweather has problems, Mayweather needs Conor McGregor. Well, the truth couldn't be further. Let me tell you, Floyd Mayweather just posted this on his Instagram, and I know it's true because anyone who was around Floyd Mayweather back after the Pacquiao fight in 2015 saw Mayweather with the $26 million paycheck for the IRS. And this is what Floyd writes on his Instagram. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, especially when it comes to the media in this country. While everyone is counting my money and assuming the worst, these are the facts. Uncle Sam received $26 million from me in 2015. What else could they possibly want? I'm sure I would have been notified much sooner if there were any real discrepancies, right? Bottom line, everybody just wants to be part of the Money May show, including the IRS. That's fine. You can crunch numbers all day, but in the end, my empire is rock solid and intact. Now calculate that. Hashtag TMT, hashtag Floyd Mayweather, hashtag TBE.
Eventually, Floyd addressed the tax rumors by revealing he had paid $26 million to the IRS. But instead of resolving doubts, the announcement raised more questions. Was that the full amount owed? Was it too late? The timing seemed less about transparency and more about damage control. Some critics argue that the payment was a public relations move aimed at silencing growing speculation.
To them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. But he showed his actual, I mean, $26 million.
Then just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your woman something nice, all right? How was Christmas for your kids? Oh, you're Jewish? Convert just for this Christmas. Here, take care.
Despite mounting lawsuits and financial warnings, Mayweather recently claimed he invested $402 million into real estate, purchasing 62 buildings in Manhattan with his own money. While he stressed that no outside partners were involved, critics doubt the legitimacy of such a claim. The timing and scale seem exaggerated, especially given his other financial.
$102 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Vada Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion."
Rather than instilling confidence, the statement has only increased skepticism. If true, it suggests reckless overextension. Mayweather's obsession with material things is perhaps his most damaging trait. Every luxury car, designer watch, and gold chain adds to a lifestyle he can no longer sustainably afford. Insiders report that he buys more than he earns, month after month. The math simply doesn't add up, and when those purchases come...
Floyd Mayweather is about to pay $2 billion to purchase a sports team and may never have to pay taxes again. The tax code offers these super wealthy so many methods to erase their income through deductions, and none is better than purchasing a sports team. Buying a sports team is like buying a unicorn real estate property. The value is always going to go up, the owner is going to make money, but on their tax return, they're going to use a strategy to report that they're losing money. See, the owner is actually allowed to write off the entire cost of the sports team against future income. This will allow Floyd to pay less in taxes. It's called amortization, which is very similar to depreciation. But if Floyd ever decides to sell the team, then the taxes will be owed. Who cares then? Because the taxes he was supposed to pay during those years, he's going to take that money, reinvest it for personal profit. See you, Floyd. Hit your boy up if you need help with taxes. My name is Duke, and I make taxes very easy to understand. Give me a follow to stay educated.
Nothing illustrates Floyd's obsession with spectacle more than his recent trip to Mexico in an armored tank. While most travelers opt for luxury SUVs or private jets, Mayweather took absurdity to a new level. It was less about practicality and more about attention. These displays might earn him viral moments, but they also reveal a man completely disconnected from financial reality.
They got Floyd Mayweather, like...
Well, I didn't say kidnap, but you know, you got your passport taken. You can't come and leave when you want to go, but he ain't in jail, so he's out in a 6-star hotel being Floyd, so I guess it ain't that bad, but we'll see. We're going to watch and see like everybody else.
That's crazy. I mean, when you think of Money Mayweather, you thinking like Floyd may have like $1 billion or something.
He did. He made $1 billion plus. Floyd made a lot of money. And I don't really know Floyd's business, so I'm not going to speak on Floyd's business. But Floyd's very, very, as we all the world knows, he's money made, very flashy. Look, man, you know, we both made some real money, but you know, you start burning through, you make $2-3 million a year, you burning through $100,000 a month. You ain't really got that much money.
Shit, he probably spending way more than that.
No, I'm talking regular dudes. We say we made $3 million, we burning through $100,000 a month. We really don't got no paper like that saved
that's
up.
A fact.
So even if he's making $100 million. If he's burning through $5, $6, $7 million a month, you still got taxes, you still got responsibilities. So I don't know nobody's bag, but you know, me and you, we real. We never count nobody's paper. So
not at all.
I hope he got $10 billion. And I hope he get out of his problem.
That's a fact, because you would figure he should be able to just cash him out, like whatever the tab is. You know, he should be able to wire that.
I think he could do that with no problem. I think he got all the money in the world. I think they may not want it.
Mayweather's watch collection, estimated to be worth millions, is another example of his compulsive need to display opulence. Social media is flooded with posts showing rows of diamond-studded timepieces, each more extravagant than the last. While fans may admire the glamour, financial experts see waste. These watches don't appreciate in value. They depreciate the moment they're bought.
I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. Right here, I got 3 cases. And they're all full of watches. So when I travel, I like to take, you know, if I'm going for 45 days, I like to take 45 watches with me. I like to have options. So everybody's always asking me, what's your favorite watch? Well, one of my favorite watch brands is Avi & Co. As you can see right here, I got this a few months back, and it's one of my favorite watches. One of the best brands in the world. That's just my personal opinion. I like the brand so much, I went and bought another watch just yesterday, Avi & Co. As you can see, Avi and Co. Now, let's talk about watches. Let's talk about jewelry. Let's talk about a few things. I need you guys to watch me talk about my watches. So we'll set this to the side. Now, we want to give the people an appetizer or something light. So we give you 2 appetizers, then we give you a main course. Just a few watches that I got while I travel. So check this out. We're going to go here first. And of course, the company is Avi & Co. Crazy company. Now, I need you guys to come closer and check this out. So let me come to you guys.
The moment
Mayweather's
when it comes to business,
is
Floyd's
just
reputation
as
is just as
spending
questionable
habits.
as his spending.
He's
His
focused
focus
more
has
on making
always
quick
been on
money
profit
than doing
over
things the
principle,
right way.
leading him into ventures
This has
riddled
led
with
him into many
controversy.
controversial
From shady
deals,
crypto
from failed
schemes to
promotions
failed
to shady
promotions,
crypto projects.
Mayweather's portfolio is a mess of
business
impulsive
portfolio is
decisions.
full of rushed
Financial
decisions.
sustainability requires structure,
Building long-term
ethics,
wealth takes
and planning,
planning,
none of which
honesty,
Floyd
and structure,
consistently demonstrates.
none of which
As
Floyd
doubts
shows
grow,
off.
doubts grow about his ability
more
to
people
manage
question
money,
his money
so does
management,
manage money.
there's growing
So does
fear.
Yeah, I think it was like a $5 or $8 million 5-fight deal or something like that. You have to check the numbers, but he turned that down to start his own promotion. And when he was with HBO, he worked out that deal to do the 24/7, where you can see the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That was right around the time when reality TV was getting big.
Yeah.
So you didn't have social media then. People began to build and know Floyd off of the 24/7.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, my wife even became a boxing fan from watching the 24/7s.
Yeah.
So the timing of him becoming his own boss, which you're going to make the majority